All right, let's see if anybody joins on here. I don't know if anybody will or not. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, buddy? All right, you got the audio now. So we had I don't know what the hell's going on with this software that I tried using, but I kept getting an error message that we could not connect to the YouTube server with that software. So that's the issue that I had tonight. New issue, not the same issue, but I'm not going to be able to bring Maddie in because I'm doing this on my cell phone. I don't have the capability to bring Maddie in on this live stream. So I just wanted to jump on and I mean, if we want to have a live stream just to chat, just to shoot the BS and have a little discussion, we can definitely do that. If no one really wants to hang out, we're going to try to reschedule Maddie's live stream for either tomorrow or Thursday. I don't really know which day um, it'll work. I need to get clearance from that server that I'm using, or not server, but the service, just to try and get it to work. So let me know what you guys want to do. If anybody wants to hang out, ask questions, we can just go ahead and do a quick Q&A if we want to do that. Or if nobody really wants to hang out, we can just schedule this live stream with Maddie for another day. You're good to chill for a little bit. Red, congrats on the new house, by the way, buddy. That's awesome. I'm assuming you have a lot of work ahead of you to get that house ready and the garage and all that good stuff. Yeah, Ken, we're gonna reschedule because I can't bring Maddie into this live stream, so we're gonna reschedule for another day, whether it's tomorrow or Thursday. I got to reach out to the service company to see when they resolve the issue with connecting to YouTube because it's on their end. For some reason, they can't connect their server to the YouTube server, and I can't go live. So I'm doing this on my cell phone, so I can't bring Maddie in. But we'll just hang out. We'll just do a little Q&A. I do have a cold beer. If anybody else has a drink, I mean, let's just have a little discussion. Let's have a little fun if we're up for it. Sorry there, Scotty. I'm disappointing you, huh? Hopefully Maddie can jump on here. Ken, how are the new seats coming? I'm waiting on the brackets. I reached out to Cypher. They were a little backed up on manufacturing and fabricating the brackets due to the holidays, due to COVID, due to all that good stuff. So this bracket should be sent out either this week or next week. So hopefully I get them within the day or two. I did try to dye the threads from white to yellow. Wasn't working out all that well, so I'm just gonna nix that idea and just go with white stitching. That's just gonna be the way it is now. I'm not gonna change it back. So fire the tech. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm actually like kind of pissed off. I mean, I've been having nothing but issues with this service. With whether it's lag. Like I know last week when I had Scott on, we had the issue with lag when I did the share when I shared screen. Not happy. So we'll see what happens. Maddie's here. That's cool. What's up, Maddie? Sorry, you're just talking to the chat and you're not actually on here. But what were we going to talk about with Maddie? We were just going to talk about kind of like the same thing we did with Scott last week. Just getting to know Maddie on a more personal level instead of, just through whatever you see on his videos on YouTube. So, Maddie's from Brazil, so he came here to the U.S. and we were just going to talk a little bit about that. Obviously, about his cars now, and what his plans are in the future, and just more about his personal life. That's kind of what the whole in the passenger seat series is going to be about. Is just getting to know that particular YouTube on a more personal level, kind of as if you were like on a road trip with them, and you had 45 minutes to shoot the BS. What were you going to ask them, and just to get to know the guy a little bit better. So that's kind of what the whole series is about. Taking a vet for a ride now so I can clear my mind after this. I hear you, man. This whole thing was just annoying. How did you try to dye the thread? I used multiple dye pens. Hold on. I tried using this fabric marker. This like did nothing. I tried just using Sharpies. They kind of really didn't do anything. I did have another fabric pen that worked, kind of, sort of, but it wasn't wiping clean, so it was leaving a lot of yellow dye behind, like on the on the fake leather. So I just didn't want to go that route. Gotta love technology. Yeah, technology sucks. Did you try the color fabric markers? I had good success with red fabric marker on the Corvette logo on the back of my seats. I don't know if there's an issue, not an issue, but I don't know if like the threads are like, I don't know if they're coated with something or something, but the yellow, it just wasn't taking it. Um, like, I tried like Sharpies and this stuff, and the yellow was very, 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 very muted, almost like a black. It wasn't even holding the yellow for anything. So definitely look to reschedule with Maddie. I'm gonna reschedule with Maddie. Like I said, once we figure out what the hell what happened, we'll get Maddie on here for sure. What is the story behind your name? Oh, that's the Muffin Monster. We actually went over that. When did we go over that? On a different live stream, we went over why it was called Muffin Monster. But he does the Muffin Monster grinders for like sewage, um, for like pump station sewage treatment stuff. Zippy's Chinese thread. Is that really what it is? It's just cheap Chinese thread, and it's just not taking the dye. I'm assuming that's probably what it is. PC, sorry you're late. You didn't receive any notifications. Yeah, PC. We kind of, we kind of had to punt on the whole streaming with Maddie thing, and I'm just on here. It's just gonna be a Q&A. We're gonna bring Maddie back on here. We're gonna reschedule with him for another day. RTM, hey Dave, I watched your video on the LED interior light install. I am happy with them, but I didn't do my map lights, and I'm confused because they say there are two different versions. Yes, if you have the auto dimming rearview mirror, they're already LED. So there's a little circuit board up there with little LEDs on them, and you'll see that if you look up into your mirror lights. And to my knowledge, I'm sure you can probably like desolder those LEDs and put your own LEDs in. To me, it's just not worth the headache to do that, but maybe it is possible to do. Or if you do not have the auto dimming mirror, it's just like I forget what the bulb type is, but it's an easy, you pop out the old bulb and you stick the new bulb in. So if you don't have the auto dimming mirror, it's an easy process. If you have the auto dimming mirror, it's a little bit of a headache. So I haven't done it. Then you said, I think my factory ones are the LED, but they are not a nice white like the other interior lights. I just want them to match. Yeah, I hear you. They're like like a warm white instead of a cool white. Yeah, Mike, we're definitely gonna reschedule. I'm sorry that everyone's talking to me instead of me and Maddie. Appreciate everyone coming out though to support myself and Maddie. That's awesome that a bunch of you guys were looking forward to this. Again, my mind is in the mud in the gutter. That's funny. Ray, have you ordered the blower yet? No, but you know what? It's funny because I posted a picture of my engine bay on Instagram the other day, and someone said, "Oh, what would look great in that engine bay would be a blower," and I replied saying, "Yeah, I think ECS or A&A could help me with that." And ECS reached out to me, and they sent me an email just saying, "Hey, talk to Chris in their office, and he'll try and set me up with a blower kit." I'm assuming probably at no discount, but it's funny that they did reach out to me at least anyway. Sorry, PC. I'm sure you didn't get a speeding ticket, PC. I've seen you drive. You don't drive all that quick. 2001. I'm having that problem with the auto dimming mirror. One of the side LED shorted out or something. Yeah, I haven't really looked into replacing the auto dimming mirror lights with anything but what's in there for as stock. So I just haven't done my homework on it, so I can't really help you with that one. RTM, if you don't know which one you have, you'll have like a power button on the mirror, and it'll be like green if it's on, and if it's off, it just won't be anything. That's the auto dimming mirror. Ah, is that really? I know there's a lot of issues with feminine napkins being in the sewer system. There's that, and condoms are the big things. You're comfortable doing soldering work, so I wouldn't mind that if I had to. I did the Halo mod on my LED taillights again, as per your video. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean that mod really all that hard. Like you said, as long as you're comfortable doing some soldering, it's not a hard process. Zippy's Chris is one of the owners at ECS. Great guy. Yeah, I actually I went down to their shop when I did the mail order tune. I didn't actually mail it in. I just drove the car there. Um, and he just uploaded, fixed the tune for my mail order tune. But yeah, I spoke with Chris and Doug. So at that time, and yeah, they are nice guys. They came to the last Corvette takeover as well. Maddie, speed engineering headers, yay or nay? I'll let Maddie answer that. But I thought the install went well. The only hiccup we had was how the existing exhaust was put in. But other than that, it went pretty well. Ken, you want those Halo lights bad? I love the Halo lights. I think the only issue with C5s is they don't have many options for taillights. You either get the stupid ones that don't have the Halo at all, or you can get the Halo ones. I don't know if there's really any other options for our C5s. It's not like the C6. C6, you have like, I don't know, I'm going to say like 10 different options for taillights. But C5, we only have like two, and one of them is just hideous. And the Halo, not that there's anything wrong with the Halo, it would just be nice to have different options. What's the main difference between ECS and A&A and blower? You know what? I have no idea. That might be a good like live stream idea if I can like contact Chris at ECS and see if you want if I can get this fucking software to work. Bring him on a live stream and we can chat ECS for, versus A&A blower kit and see have him tell me what the difference is. I know, of course, he helped design probably the ECS kit, so he's gonna obviously tout that thing and say that the A&A kit sucks. But it would at least be nice to know what the differences are. I have no idea. Um, is the see-through roof on the table until warm weather, or have you done prep to do it? No, I haven't started it yet. I'm actually in the process right now of not trying. I am repainting my basement, the walls and the floor, putting in a new drop ceiling. Um, Hopefully within the next 2 to 3 months, we're going to be listing our house for sale and getting out of here. So That's kind of like what I'm busy doing at the moment. I hope to have it all painted by hopefully next week, and then I can begin the whole process of sanding that down. But no, I have not started, but I do hope to start soon. Ray has no issue on his speed engineering headers. Yeah, I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about the speed engineering headers, and they're what, like 400 or 500 bucks brand new. Like, how can you beat that? Bracket is the biggest difference. Yeah, I was reading on ECS website, and they were saying that their bracket is good for changing belts when you need it, and it's not like a huge issue. Yeah, I believe the belt system is different ECS for ANA. Where are you moving to? Right now, I'm not moving far. I'm only moving a few towns over. My whole family, not my whole family, my wife's whole family, moved to, I believe everyone's like in Middletown Township, which is up here, not too far off the Raritan Bay, like exit 117, 114 on the Parkway. So in that area, maybe Tinton Falls, maybe Eatontown, somewhere in this area though. I want to go to Brick, but I don't know if that will actually happen or not. Um, Moving to Pennsylvania. Nope, staying in Jersey. I want to get out of Jersey so bad, but my wife won't let me. Moving to warm C5 weather. Nope. I I I don't want to be in Jersey anymore, but I'm stuck for the moment. Paid 419 for the with X pipe. See, and that's a great deal. That's catless, right? I'm assuming you probably have to. I don't think Speed Engineering has a catted X pipe, right? You have to probably buy your own cats and cut the pipes and weld them. Bring them to a muffler shop or whatever to get them fitted, right? Back to C5 taillights. What I like is that you can modify them to flush mount, which you can't do on a C6. See, I'm not a fan of the flush mount um, taillights. I'm not saying that I hate anybody that has them. I'm just not a fan of them. I wouldn't do it on mine. Such a Jersey guy off the Garden State Parkway. Yep, that's it. RTM. I'm in Ottawa, Canada. My Z06 is in the garage with a cover on it. Always exciting when the spring comes, though. Feels like a new car again every year. Yeah, no, I hear you. Generally here in Jersey, we don't get bad winters. I know Maddie and PC that live up in like Sussex County area, so Northwest Jersey, up in the mountains. Uh, they can get pretty rough weather, but we don't down here by the beach. We don't get rough weather at all. It's pretty calm for the most part. Obviously, when a storm comes up the coast, that's when we get wild. But um, I can't even remember the last like really bad storm we had. I know we had one when I worked in New York because I remember the trains being shut down, and that was like 9 years ago. There may have been something in the between then and now, but it just nothing's you know coming to my memory. Minnesota, yeah, Minnesota, you guys got some bad winters. Catless because global warming equals more Corvette weather. I like it. Catless X5. Two of my biggest distributors are now no longer selling them. Wow. Now, Scott, what's the reason behind that? Is it because of emissions and all that crap? Flushed mounts mean no dust on the edge. Yes, I hear you on that. That is an annoying thing about Corvettes is the dust that does collect on the tail lights. There's almost pretty much no way around it except unless you do the flush mount. The flush mount gets rid of that dirt that settles in the right on the tail lights. Does it? Scott's the only guy that I know that's on this chat that has the flush mount tail lights. So Scott, does the flush mount actually stop the dust from collecting? I would assume it does. Maybe if you like took the tail light out, maybe there'd still be dust under there, but you're just not going to see it. We need to do a garage tour with this group that are local to New Jersey, PA. Once the spring hits, travel to each other's garage. I did once before, and it was a blast. Actually, not a bad idea, Jeff. I don't have a garage though, so mine would be quick. You just drive by my house and you're done. I had to vet out both days this past weekend in PA. Yeah, this past weekend was a nice weekend. It was nice. EPA is the reason, yeah. Cheers from the Great Whites North. Yes, I just subscribed to your channel. I saw that you had a Accelerate Yellow C8, and you can judge by the name of my YouTube channel. I love yellow Corvettes, so I just want to show a little bit of support for another fellow yellow Corvette, and a C8 in Accelerate Yellow I think is awesome. So big fines cracking down on it. All right, so I guess that's why they're doing away with the whole Catless X pipe thing. Are they just not making X pipes at all, or they're only doing catted X pipes now? When I ran my tuning shop, the EPA is cracking down hard to the point of fining shops and manufacturers. Wow. Still dusty on the rim. Okay. What tires do you have on the Yellow Vet? I have on the rears, I have Hankook Ventus V12s. And on the front, I have Firestone Indy, not the Indy 500s, which are the newer tire. They're like they're Indy 500s, but they're like the Indy wide oval or something like that. It's a kind of tire that Firestone actually doesn't make anymore. So when I actually got a nail or screw in one of my rear tires. So when I needed to replace both tires in the rear, I went to Firestone thinking I could match the front tires, but they told me they couldn't, and I'd have to go with Indy 500s. And I believe the Hankook Vintage V12s are actually cheaper than the Firestone 500, so that's why I went with Hankooks. And I went with the cheaper tire because my plan is to eventually get wheels for the car, and in that case, I want to go to a bigger wheel and tire. So whatever tires I put on there would be useless at that point anyway. And those EPA guys are ruthless and know what they are looking for to the point they can get a warrant for your laptop to see if you shut off codes and tunes. Damn, that's crazy, man. They really go to that extent. Need to do a live stream to discuss the EPA issue. It's complicated. All right. Scott, I just had you on a live stream, bro. We could have talked about it. No, just kidding. I had to try out my newly installed HPI rear diff support. Really solid. But it does resonate some rattles and noises around the car. Muffin Monster. Is Ken still on here? Because you got that from Ken's video, right? The rear diff support. Duramax Country Boy. I think I'm the only person here that don't have a Corvette. Hey, I appreciate you stopping in. I know you were probably here for Maddie. Like I said, we'll get Maddie on here and we'll talk some truck stuff. I wasn't gonna try and talk too much, or not a lot of Corvette stuff. I was gonna try and keep it 50-50 with the Corvette and truck stuff, and then obviously some personal things that obviously doesn't impact whether it's Corvette or truck related. Do you have the F55 in a car? I do not. I do not have the F55. And I meant to share it, but I didn't share the video. But Lyle over at CNS Corvettes put out a great video. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, about common C5 issues and what to look out for, and what years are the best years to get. And he did a great job on that video. And he mentioned the F55 suspension, especially on the 04, which I have. That would be an issue if I did have it, but I don't. So it's a good thing. Check out BF Goodrich for C5 tires. Same rubber used in Michelin tires. Michelin owns BF Goodrich. It's good to know. Thanks, Jeff. Very good idea, Scott. I got caught up in the EPA search on the shop. I mean, between you and Scott, if you guys wanted to jump on a live stream one day and talk about the EPA stuff, I'm game for that. RTM, I really want a set of wheels, but I can't justify the cost. That's why I haven't done it. I mean, I've had the car for 5 years now, and I haven't put any wheels and tires on it. I know it changes the entire look of a car with new wheels, but for I mean, what wheels and tires is probably going to cost at least $2,500, and for $2,500, I'm halfway to an ECS kit for $2,500. So I don't know. For me, I'd rather do the performance, but I mean, I get why people do wheels. I'm just, like you said, I'm just not at that point where I want to do wheels yet. I have the Indy 500s for a couple of years. Love them. They hung in there for the Deer Live when National Instruments, and now they still do pretty good. That's good. I did do hear that their tires are pretty good. Fixie FM10 or CCW Classic. Um, I think the CCWs are just friggin' really expensive wheels. Um, I don't know. Not saying that they're crap wheels or anything. I just think they're really really expensive. I mean, for 2,500, you're probably not even getting the wheels for 2,500. A few years back, the EPA walked the snowfield at the Corvettes of Carlisle, shutting down exhaust installs. Really, man. Thanks for the shout out. Would like to meet you someday when this COVID passes by. Yeah, that would be an awesome time. Me and Scott 512 Garage. That's in here in the chat. We run a Corvette takeover here in Jersey. Um, do it twice a year, and we hope to do one here coming up in April or May. So just throwing that out there. I know North Carolina to Jersey. What is that? Maybe 7, 8 hours, something like that drive. Um, or if you ever decide to go out to Corvette to Carlisle, I go out every year for at least one day. For this year coming up, I hope to go out for 2 days. But Corvette to Carlisle is a great time. I'm trying to catch up. Jeez, you guys are hitting me with a bunch of comments here. Got my street tires in for wheels. I haven't ordered yet because I can't decide on color. Yeah, I know. Right, you and me were going back and forth. I think on black and gray, right? Years. It was yesterday. Oh yeah, that was for Lyle's video. Yeah, storage relays sold me on the HPI support. I like bolt-on upgrades that are easily installed in my home garage. I hear you on that. Yeah, Ken made that install look really simple, so I plan on doing that eventually. Plan to get one this year. So loving all the Corvette content. Duramax Country Boy. What Corvette are you looking at getting? There's a bunch of people on here that could help you out if you're like torn between this year or that year or C5, C6 or C6, C7. You know, post a question up. I'm sure everybody would help you. Lyle's a very good and informative channel. He does. I mean, the guy's seen it, right? He's been in the business for however long. I forget how long he's been in the business for, but he's seen it all at least 100 times. So good guy. I actually talked to him about pinning my harmonic balancer, um, and he walked me through how to pin it without taking it all apart again. So nice guy. Obviously, I mean, he gave me the information to do it. Performance over aesthetics. I agree. Gustavo, I have 16-inch CCW drag pack. I do like the big meaty rear tire. If you're going to keep the car for 5+ years and drop the supercharger bomb for sure. Yeah, I do plan on keeping the car. I don't plan on selling the car like ever. Um, I mean, I just put out the video a few days ago on how much I've already spent on the car, which is I forget what the number was, $5,900 or whatever it was. Like if I've already spent almost 6 grand like in modifications, whether that was performance or just aesthetic things. That's money I'm never gonna get back. So yeah, I do plan on keeping it for a while. 780 a wheel for the CCWs. Yeah, I do know they're expensive. They're a good wheel. They're just expensive. I really like the original 5-spoke wheels. I had mine professionally painted gunmetal gray with a hint of pewter to match the car. You know what? I do. I like the stock OE wheels as well. I just wish they were 1819 instead of 1718. That's the only reason why I want to get new wheels is I like 1819s better. So do all the Corvette owners here wave at Corvettes, save the way? I wave at every Corvette, and I wave at Corvettes even when I'm in my Ram. Um, and my wife laughs at me all the time because I put on the face. I put on the sad face. I'm like waving at the Corvette guys as they're passing by because I'm with the fan. I'm not in the Corvette. She's like, oh, she always makes a comment, but it's all in good fun. But yeah, I wave at every Corvette owner. Yeah, red, black, or gunmetal. Gustavo, I appreciate the I think that's called a super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. Opar, just want to say you're awesome. Since I, since I started following you, I learned a lot about my 04 C5 decks. And you know what? To be honest, guys, everything that I put on my videos is stuff I either learned doing it myself and figuring it out, or going on the forums. Because the forums, even though there's a lot of old grumpy guys on the forums, there's still a lot of great information. Obviously, these cars have been around since at least 2004, so we have 16 years at least of people that have been there, done that. And if you go on the forums, there's always multiple threads on how to fix an issue. Um, so they're a great source. I recommend the forums to anybody. I mean, just do a search. Don't create your own new thread because you're going to get slammed if you ask a question about your 2001 Corvette that's already been answered like 320 times. Ray, 255 on the front, 355 on the rear, man. That's a big rear tire, buddy. Duramax Country Boy, you want to get a C6? Awesome. Do you know what year? And do you know if you want to do like a base or a Grand Sport or a Z06? Doesn't that mess up? Oh, that's for Ray's question about the tire size if it messes up traction control. Uh, what did I'm looking at PC's comment. Wheels are performance is done correctly, unsprung weight. Yeah. Yep. Everyone's got a wave. Yep. Yeah, I lost the get my money back out of it when I painted it. Yeah, I hear you on that one. A lot of first time vet owners don't wave. They just don't know about it. Yeah, no, I mentioned that in one of my live streams the other day that when the C7s first came out, because there was a lot of new Corvette owners jumping into the C7s, they wouldn't wave. So it's I always see new owners and the younger owners, younger than myself, that don't wave. Easy, I'm an old grumpy guy on the forum, 20 years on the forum. I'm sorry about that, Jeff. But you're not the one. The thing I hate about the forums, and I guess rightfully so, these people should get slammed. All you have to do is search your topic, right? And like I said, you'll find 100 threads on whatever topic you want to find. But if you were to ask the question, you will get slammed for asking a question that's already been answered. And it's just a bunch of grumpy guys. Yeah, since we're still talking about the wave, before I got my car, I was driving my father-in-law's. He has a 2004 Vert, and I was driving around one weekend. He let me borrow it for the weekend, and I was driving down along the beach area around here, and it was a really nice weekend in like October or something like that, and tons of Corvettes out, and it was fun just to wave at everybody. Thought that was pretty cool. In a couple of months. As long as your height percentage is within certain tolerance, I won't trip anything, or you can get into the computer and do a hard disable. Guy, that's for the traction control. I run 315s on the rear for an R compound track tire. Yeah, Jeff, I saw you had two sets of tires there. Yeah. The forum is cool. Just search. Yep, I agree. Don't start your own new thread. Just do a search first. How yeah, Ken's mentioning that some of the Facebook pages can be ruthless. Yeah, they can, and you know we see it here on YouTube too. You put something on YouTube and people, you know, for the most part everyone's nice, but you get those one or two comments every video. You're just scratch your head at. You're like, dude, you're an idiot. But whatever. I guess you have nothing better to do but to complain about what I did. Muffin Monster, should I consider a supercharger over a cam upgrade? Um, Let me see if anybody answered that already. No. Um, I guess it all depends on where you want to take the car, right? Like supercharger obviously will get you to what, like I think you're more or less stock, right, Muffin Monster? So like, you know, you'll get up to like 500 horsepower with just your supercharger, you know, with no other supporting mods, you know, which is crazy. So it's and they're what 5 to 6 grand for the kit, depending on which kit you go with. So I mean, it's a good investment for you know your money per horsepower, I guess you'd call it, is pretty good because you don't have to do cam heads and all that good stuff, which obviously adds up. You know, my whole cam upgrade plus the heads that I want to get would be like $3,600, I think it is. So maybe a little bit less, but you know you're already mostly there, you know, compared to the Pro Charger. Let's see. Duramax Country Boy. I want a Z06, but probably going to end up with a base. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a base. I'll say a base is greater than Z06. There you go. Yeah, don't discount the Grand Sport. I always did like the Grand Sports. You get the look of the Z06, but you get, you know, performance that you could use on the street. Yeah. And Muffin Monster depends on long-term goals. That's essentially what I was saying. Yeah, Zippy's garage. He went cam and C5Z06 to stay NA and no extra weight of the supercharger since I do track events. Yeah, I mean if you're gonna track the car, that's definitely the better move to do. Blower 100% stock engine, 550-ish at the tire. Yeah, base model is totally fine. I agree. I would take the C6 Grand Sport as well if I find one I like. Yeah, I mean I haven't really looked at C6s all that much. But like you can get like a you know like an LS2, so the '05 to '07 C6s, you know, for under 20 now. And then the LS3s are like in the 20 to 25 range. I mean, you could probably even find those for less than 20. But and then Grand Sports are like in the mid 20 range, and then Z06s start around 30 and they go up from there. From the limited research that I've done. Uh, Zippy's Garage said if you go C6, get 2010 or newer and get the better LS3 motor. Yep, I agree. I think because there's the LS3 is just a better motor than the LS2. You get better heads. You get a lot of better things with that. That's a question for Zippity. Supercharged with that. You will never look back. I finance half through a firm and cash. Yeah, I know when I was on the ECS's website, just doing quick search, you know, my quick searching on it just to get more information from it. At the bottom of the screen or at the bottom of the web page was that Affirm for financing it, which I thought was funny. Or if you really like to party, you could always spray it. There you go. Yeah, for the LS3, you can actually start looking at '09s. Didn't the LS3 come out in '08? I mean, maybe they just made few better improvements along the years. I don't know. I'm not a big C6 guy. Yeah, if you go C6, avoid '05. The one thing that I hate, well, not that I hate it, but like the '05 C6 steering wheel is just hideous. I think all C6 wheels are hideous. I mean, they put a Cobalt steering wheel in the C6, which is pretty ridiculous, but the '05 steering wheel is just even worse. I don't know, like I said, I don't know much about the C6s, but I just know that the steering wheel is ugly. And Dave, well, like the one I want because I want to find a yellow one. There you go. Yellow wins, baby. I'm telling you. When I got my car, the only color I didn't want was black. And when I wasn't sure about the yellow, but when I went to go look at it, I just knew once I looked at it, I was like, man, this yellow's for me. No doubt. Um Zippy nice. Okay, I probably wouldn't spend 5 to 6K on just one upgrade to a supercharger. I'm losing comments. Peter, I would have to look. It's been about 10 ECS did the install. Oh, I guess you're asking how much it cost. Yeah. Mopar, Shane. I asked Lyle from CNS Corvettes how to check if my '04 has F55. He replied there will be a round toggle switch just in front of the center console door. Oop, I'm losing it. Door with Tour Sport. Yes. It'll be a little turn knob there that you can do. And that's the easiest way to know. If you don't have it, if you just have the track, I think it's just the traction control button. If you only have the traction control button in your center console there between your gear shifter and the actual center console lid, if you only have the traction button, then you don't have the F55. Speaking of steering wheels, the 76C3 has a Vegas steering wheel. Didn't know that. C5 yellow, Millennium yellow is my favorite of the Corvette yellows. I kind of agree with you there, Zippity. It's just a different yellow. I mean, I know everyone thinks yellow is yellow, but Millennium yellow compared to Velocity yellow in the C6 compared to Accelerate yellow in the C8. I forget what the yellow was called in the C7. Maybe it was still Velocity yellow. I'm not 100% sure. They're just different yellows. And I do prefer I guess it's more of a darker yellow in the C5. Oh, I get the comments back up. There we go. The '05 diff is 1 year only and about as strong as a Chinese dish. Okay, that's good to know. Corvette Racing Yellow. Is that in response to the C7 yellow? Yes. And then PC said C7 I think is Racing Yellow. Okay. Yeah, I don't know C7 colors, but yeah, the C5 yellow is definitely not a big bird yellow. Agreed. There was I was at a local show once and somebody had a C6 and he had it all Tweety birded out. I was like, dude, that's ridiculous, but it was all Tweety bird stuff. Wasn't a fan of it, but hey, his car, he can do what he wants. I have to go on here and just erase the live stream that we did before. Again, sorry about that, guys. I don't know why I'm having such an issue with that streaming software. Huge bummer. You have a soft spot for the shock yellow on the 6th gen Camaro. Is that it's kind of more of like a greenish yellow, right? If I'm not mistaken. I mean, you could correct me. Why can't I delete that? Oh, because it's upcoming. Why is it upcoming? And looks like a highlighter under a black light. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Anyone know where Justin is? Justin is in horsepower obsessed, PC? Delete forever. Yeah, I don't know. I tagged him on Instagram for the live with Maddie, and he said I forget what his response was. I think he just said nice, but no, I don't really know where he's at. He's probably just doing his own thing. I don't really chat with him much. Probably Maddie chats with him more than I do. But my local dealer has another 2013 C601. Man, I love that car with the white exterior and black and tan interior. C601s are a sick car. I'm not gonna lie, I put in for Street Speeds giveaway in the hope to win that. I know, like, I don't drive manual, guys, so don't like roast me, but I would have learned to drive manual with that car for sure. What else is in everyone's garage besides a Corvette? That's good. Good question there, Jeff. Everybody can chime in. Mine's just I have a 2016 Ram as my, I guess you can call that my daily, even though I work so close to home right now that, well, right now my home is my work, so I don't like go anywhere. But when I actually did go to the office, my commute's only like 7 or 8 miles one way. So whenever the sun was out, I would drive the Corvette. So Duramax Country Boy, I looked at a yellow C5 just like yours, but at the time just couldn't afford it. Yeah, I mean, you know, Corvette prices currently right now because of the C8 market. I think that's why anyway. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but because the C8 is just so inflated right now, like if you look up UC5s like at dealers, I mean they want like 20 grand for a C5. I'm like, dude, you're out of your mind. I mean, you go to a private sale, almost seems like private owners know what a C5 is really worth and not what dealerships think they're worth. But you know, and back to Ken's point earlier, like when you post up on a Facebook group, like you're selling a C5 for whatever your price is, people just roast you. But I mean, C5s have come down. I mean, you can get a decent C5 for I'm gonna say like 10 to 12 grand, and probably even less if you really wanted to wait and look. Mopar Shane has a Mopar. Mopar Shane, what Mopar do you have? I can see your like thumbnail picture. I don't know if that's what you have or if you have something else. PC, you don't have a Yugo. Zippy, all used car prices are sky high due to no inventory, especially Corvettes. I am hoping to get a C7 next year. I guess that kind of makes sense, right? Yeah, there's no. I mean, if you weren't on the list for a C8, you're not getting one. So yeah, they want more than 20K if you're looking for a C5Z. Yeah, no, it's. I was just looking the other day because I follow a guy on Instagram and he was complaining about C5 prices and he was like looking at a car in North Carolina and the car I forget what year. I guess it was an '03 or an '04 because it was medium spiral gray metallic, which is a great color for a C5. I love that color. And I think they wanted like 21 or 22, and it was a base model obviously, and it only had like 30 something thousand miles. But they wanted over 20 for it. I was like, dude, that's crazy. Mopar Shane, a 14 Challenger, 70 Challenger, and 68 Coronet. Awesome. That's a nice little garage you got there. But I love to drive the C5 most. Awesome. Everyone thinks that everyone else's C5 is worth 5K, but wouldn't take less than 25K for theirs. Yeah, that's kind of like what you see on all those Facebook groups. Everyone's like, you put up like I'm just gonna say like say like a 50,000 mile C5, and you put it up there for 15 grand. Everyone's like, oh, it's worth 11. It's like, well, you put your car up for 11 then if that's what you think it is. You won't. My own one is worth a lot more to me than what I could get selling it, and it's paid off. Yeah, I agree with you. Um, I got my '04 5 years ago for 15.5 with 40,000 miles on it, and I'm not getting rid of it. Too many in my garage list. Mostly project vehicles. My daily is a 2011 GMC Duramax. Awesome. What else do you have in the garage there? Just curious. We all like to know what the project cars are. I think C5 prices are going to go up a little more. Honestly, just on the fact the guys that were kids when it first came out can finally obtain them realistically. I agree. That's kind of why I got one, right? I remember growing up and my few doors up from me, one of my friends, his dad got I forget what year it was, but a C5 Vert, and from that time on, I just knew that I wanted a C5. My first Corvette I ever saw was a C4, but then when I saw the C5, I was like, yeah, I like that a lot more. So here I am in a C5, and you're right. I mean, at the time I got it, it was dirt cheap. But any other questions, guys? I guess since there's only 9 of us on here right now, as part of this, in the passenger seat, some of the people commenting, Project Dirty. I haven't reached out to you yet, but you're going to be on here. I think I reached out to you initially just asking if you were interested. You said you were, but I'll reach out to you again for a date to do it. Zippity's Garage. I have Jeff scheduled for 2 weeks from today, right, Jeff? The Not the 26th. We're going to do it on the 27th. PC, I originally talked to you if you were interested in doing something like this. You were, so I need to coordinate a date with you. I think that's it. Of the guys that are still on here, anyway. Let's see. I got to catch up on the comments, questions here. I'm really torn on picking up a C3 or finding a Rex C5 to cart. I like. I don't know. I see. If I got a C3, I wouldn't want a nice C3. It would be something that I would resto mod. It wouldn't be I don't want numbers matching because one, I can't afford it, and two, I want to drive it, right? So like, it's numbers matching car. The more I drive it, the lower in value it gets. So I just don't want that. I kind of want something that's not numbers matching that I can just make my own. Zippy's Garage. I still remember my first ride in a Corvette. It was a '78 with an 8-track stereo. Wow, that's dating yourself there, Jeff. Well, I guess the whole 20 years on the forums kind of dated yourself too. My 19-year-old son continues to beg me to drive the vet. I just tell him he couldn't handle it. Oh man, that's harsh. He's 19 and he hasn't drove it yet. Yeah, 2 weeks from tomorrow, last Wednesday in January. Yes, that's right. If I had actually just opened up the calendar, yeah, the 27th is when I have Zippy's Garage coming on. PC, I do have Rhonda, the Honda Gen 1 Ridgeline. Went to the dealer for an oil change. While waiting, the sales manager came to me. I didn't think he was going to let me leave. He really wanted it. Really? Was he gonna like trying to get you in a new Ridgeline? I did a death card out of a Honda a few years back, and it's an entire different driving experience. I could definitely see that. Agreed on a C3, Dave. I rested modded my 76 with a 12 vet tire upgrade. Really? You still have that PC, by the way? That 76? It's black, right? I think I remember on your channel. I mean, you don't really like have a channel, but on your YouTube here, I saw a video of it. Oh, my wife is. Oh, okay. Morgan 8 at 10. Yeah, my wife is mad at me probably from this live stream because I always feed my daughter before midnight. I do like the until midnight shift, and then she does anything like then she'll usually feed like around 2 3 o'clock, and she had to feed her now, so she's probably mad that I didn't really have a live stream, and then she still had to feed her, so I'll probably get crap for that, but whatever. No, he just wanted. Apparently, Gen ones are in demand. See, the only thing I didn't like about the Gen ones is the way the bed was angled, so that you couldn't even get anything if you put it right behind the cab. That's the only thing I didn't like about the Gen ones. I thought they were cool looking trucks, though, if you even want to call them a truck, right? I mean, Duramax Country Boy, if he's still on here, he'd laugh at you. That's not a truck, but you know. No More 76. I totally overbuilt it and would not drive it. And that was not my original intent. I hear you. That's a bummer, though. Because that car looked pretty sweet, PC, by the way. Duramax Country Boy. Nothing really worth talking about. My Olin Tracker, 72 Chevy truck, 13 Yukon, 96 Silverado, and others. Okay. Oh, those are your project cars. That's right. Gen 1 Ridgeline FJ Cruisers are popular in the used market. Yeah, those FJ Cruisers, man, they hold their value too. There's a huge, I don't know what you call it, but a lot of people like those cars or SUVs, whatever you want to call them, and they're pretty cool looking. But did I miss some? My wifey dailies a Honda Element, and I actually hate it. The ugliest car ever made, but it is a 5-speed all-wheel drive, so that kind of rare, I guess. That is pretty rare. I didn't even know they even came with manuals. I would have thought they're all automatics just because of who their target market is. But Honda Element ugliest car. Everybody always talks about the Pontiac Aztecs, right, being the ugliest car. The Gen 1 Ridgeline I love, but you can't get a cap for it. And I do use my trucks for my own yard work and homework project. Sometimes you just need to have a cap. Yeah, no, I hear you. On my Ram, I just have the thing, the target, the what is that called, the tonneau cover. So that's all I have on mine. But it is nice just to have things that are out of the weather when you want them out of the weather. But love my truck. It's actually the first time I ever owning a truck, and I love it. Aztec is the prototype Lambo SUV. Yeah, right. There's a lot of similarities between the Aztec and the new Lambo. What is that? The Urus, right? My next big purchase for the vet will have to be tires. Now, looking forward to shopping. I want high mileage, not sticky. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not the one to ask about tires. I just know when I was looking at getting tires for my car, like I said, I didn't want super expensive tires, and the Hankook Ventus V12s kept coming up every time I searched them, and they're a great tire for what I use it for. So, I mean, I'd recommend them, and they're not crazy expensive. Just a comment. Same guy that designed the Diablo designed the Aztec. Really? I didn't know that. Did not know that. We believe I can get more in my Chrysler minivan, 4x8 sheets of plywood. Sure that's with the tailgate closed. That's what my dad always went with vans because he does a lot of stuff where he carries 4x8 sheets of plywood and some other stuff, and that's all he ever talks about. He's like, I'll go fit a 4x8 sheet of plywood in this thing. You can't do that in many other vehicles. So he loved his vans for that very reason. They're still around. Kumho and Vredenstein are great inexpensive tires. I did hear about the Kumhos. PC time to buy a Colorado. Yeah, that was gonna be my question for Maddie. Why he chose Colorado? I know he's answered it on his own channel, but maybe not everybody has seen that video from him. So I was gonna ask him why he picked the Colorado. So hopefully get him back on here and he can answer that question. Because I know when I was shopping trucks, I got it mine used. I didn't get it new, but I don't know. It just always seemed like the full size trucks were the better deal than getting the, I don't even know what you call a Colorado. What is that? It's not a half size truck. I don't even know what you call that. But again, I'm not a truck guy, so don't murder me. But you know, I just always wanted the full size truck. And now I have two kids. The back seat, I got the crew cab, so the back seat is friggin' enormous. I have the two kids. My wife can jump back there if she needs to make sure stop the one kid from crying or whatever. It's just great having a full size truck. I love it. I have an extended cab Colorado and a new Equinox with a 2.0 turbo. Nice. PC Plus, I get all four of my kids, as in the 80-pound German Shepherds in the van. Nice. You got four German Shepherds, man? My neighbor growing up, he had German Shepherds. For some reason, though, they were never nice. I'm not saying German Shepherds are a bad dog, but for some reason, his were never nice. But I had other friends that had German Shepherds, and they were the nicest dogs. So I'm like, why does your dog suck so much? Obviously, it's how we raised it, but it's like, come on. Um, Project Dirty. I've thought about a 99 to 02 Duramax to replace the Tahoe, but banks don't like sounds of a 15K note on a 20-year-old. Yeah, that was my issue too. Even just trying to find financing for my vet. It being at the time, what was it? Over 10 years old, they were just like, oh, we can't give you a loan for that. You're going to have to take out whatever. I forget what the hell it was, but it wasn't like an auto loan. So the percentage was like ridiculous. So I was just like, forget it. I'll just pay cash for it. Is the Colorado still a 5-cylinder? I don't know. Duramax Country Boy, midsize. Oh, okay. So that's what you call the smaller trucks as a midsize truck. That makes sense. Is the Colorado still a 5-cylinder? I don't think so. Duramax Country Boy, he would know, or maybe he would know, but I think it's a 6-cylinder, right? And they have a diesel option. Um, Project Dirty. Do you have any pets? I have a cat. Not exciting. Not that I don't like dogs, but I spend too much time. Well, not anymore because of COVID, but before COVID, I spend too much time out of my house to care for a dog. So I wouldn't get a dog just because I'm just not here to take care of it. Paul Lee, what's up? Thanks for jumping in, Paul. Just to catch you up, I couldn't do the live stream tonight with Maddie. We're gonna have to reschedule that for another day. PC, hence my email address. Yes, all mine right in the head. Which is actually how breeders, for the ones with who are not a liability. Got you. Okay. I have a 19 Colorado. It's a 6-cylinder without the auto shut off at stops. Nice. Okay, I know they had it as a 5 at one point, but I guess that's an older generation. Yeah, that could have been like the Gen 1s. I'm not 100% sure. You have a cat and a couple big snakes. What's your definition of a big snake? I hate snakes, by the way. I had one of my cousins. He bred boas back in the day, and he had one boa that was it was a big boa. I mean, I was little, so I might be exaggerating a little bit just because I was little and scared of snakes. But this boa had to be like this, and I don't know, maybe 8 feet long or something. It was a big boa, but yeah, he used to breed boas. But I hated snakes. I mean, we don't even have snakes by me, and I hate snakes. We have like gardener snakes, and I hate them, and they don't do anything. They can't hurt you, and I still hate them. 8 foot caramel red tail boa and a 14-foot lavender albino. reticulated python. Nice. Yeah, I'm not much on snakes. So I don't know. I don't even know what kind of boa my cousin had, but I couldn't tell you. Great white North Corvette. You have a yellow frog for 12 years, still going strong. I used to have turtles, but I don't have turtles anymore. I used to have two of them, and the one ate the other one. I was like, damn. So then I got rid of them. We have two dogs, and I added a kitten last year. Love having animals, but dogs are a lot more work. Yeah, that's that's why I didn't want to get a dog. I know they're more work, and I just know I'm not going to be a good dog owner. So I'll leave the people who love dogs. They can have the dogs. Durham Country. I have an '04 Colorado, and it was way too small for me. My Duramax is a crew cab long bed. Nice. Yeah, I mean, crew cabs are nice. My brother-in-law, he has a 16 maybe Silverado, but he has just a double cab, so it's a smaller rear seat. And even me, like, just when I get in it, like my legs are like hitting the back of the front seats. And like when I get in the back seat of my crew cab, like you can't sit back and touch the front seat. That's how big it is. It's just ridiculous. It's PC, you have a box turtle. Nice. My frog eats all the fish that I put in the tank. Yeah, that's what I used to feed my turtles. I used to feed them fish, and then the one time I used to get just a cheap goldfish. And one time I put however many goldfish in there, and for some reason there was one left, and that one goldfish lived for like a year in that tank. He got to like I don't know, like 5 inches big, long. And then eventually the turtles ate him. But like he lived in there for a year. I'm like, dude, like what is this? Like your friend fish or something? What part time to go to bed for me. Good night, everyone. Have a good night. Yeah, I'll be jumping off here soon. What time is it? 10:30. Woo. The bow is pretty much as big as she will get. The retic will end up in the 25 foot and two. Wow, that's a big snake, man. What do you suggest for an aftermarket exhaust for my '03 C5? Honestly, you can't go wrong with any of them, right? I think any exhaust that you pick is more personal preference on the sound that you want. I think is the biggest thing. Um, so whatever you want to go for with sound is gonna point you in the direction of the exhaust that you want to get. Like I love my Billy Boat Bullets, but they're not for everybody. They drone like hell. They're loud, but I love them. Just the way I am. But people who get in my car hate it. So, and I get it. My friend had a parrot when we were kids, and I think when the parents realized that they can live over 50 years, they got rid of it. My neighbor had a parrot, and I think it would fly on your shoulder all the time. I'm like, get off me. I agree. The extended cab Colorado has less room than the C5. That's funny. You love the Corsa Extreme. You have the Corsa Extreme and you love it. Yeah, everyone that I talk to that has Corsa likes them. People who have Borlas like them. People who have Magnaflows like them. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many different ones out there, and they're all good. There's not like there's any bad ones. It just comes down to your personal preference on what you want to hear. Yeah, say Zippity. That's a loaded question. Ask 10 people and you're gonna get 10 different answers. Exactly. You have the LG Motorsports Big Three exhausts, those long tube headers, and love it. Yeah, I looked that up, Jeff, and they're like a true 3 inch exhaust, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that. I'm running low on my pot of chuck full of nuts, Dave. PC, does that mean you're leaving? Volume is a huge factor. Oh, that's going back to the exhaust question. Yeah, like C5s is just out of the box bass. They're just not loud. Even the Z06s, I don't think are loud enough. So like that's why like people ask me all the time, why'd you get a bass over a Z06? You're putting all this money into it just to make it equal to a Z06. Well, I don't like the way Z06 sounds anyway. So I would have done headers and exhaust to a Z06, just like I would have done to my bass. So I'm gonna make a video on that. Why I chose a bass over Z06. I'm sure a bunch of guys on here. I think a lot of you do have bass C5, so you'll agree with me. And those that have the Z06, you're not gonna agree with me, but we can disagree. Check the manufacturers. Zippy, you had Corsa Touring on your C5 convertible and love them as well. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can't go wrong with any of them. You just gotta pick your personal preference on the sound that you want. Check the manufacturer websites, even if you are buying it used. All the brands are great and they show the ranges and sound on the graph. Yep. You have Magnaflow Performance. It looks great, but not loud enough. I wish I had gone with the Corsa. Muffin Monster, do you have anything else, or is it just the axle backs? German country, the louder it is, the better it is. That's my motto. That's what I went with. That's why I went with Billy Boat Bullets. They don't have any mufflers, so they're friggin' loud. I think the only exhaust that might be louder might be the what are they called? Obviously, if you go straight pipe, that's probably the loudest. But the the SLP loudmouths, they're essentially a straight pipe, but you're just paying whatever you're paying for those one of these $700-800 just for straight pipes. Zippy, yes, that's why I went with the LG Big 3, a true 3-inch exhaust all the way through. Yeah, that is pretty cool. PC, going back to Paris, a lot of the owners actually have them in their will so that they will go to someone who cares for them. That's crazy. I'm not a para person. So I have a Z06, and some days I wish I could remove the top, and I cannot. It's a fixed roof. Yep, that's one of the reasons why I got a base over a Z06 as well. Is exactly what you just said. You can take the top off when the weather's nice, even when the weather's not nice, as long as it's sunny out and warm, like for that time of year. Like it could be February, but if it's 50 out, I'm taking the top off. Like that's just awesome. And it's nice and warm. In February when it's 50, that's warm. So like, you're like in a t-shirt. I'm catless with turnouts by the trans, going to go to a Hooker Blackheart muffler, less axle back just to fill that gap in the rear back. But I wanted obnoxious. Yeah. I think one of my friends that he's going to be on here too eventually. I think he just got the Hooker Blackhearts. So I'm interested to see how his sound. He actually lives in or just outside of Philly, so I might go do a video with him. Plus the exhaust sound, yes, will change depending on what else you have done to the car. Yeah, because my father-in-law, he has the not Billy Boat. He has what do you have? He has the Borla Attacks, but he doesn't have headers or X pipe. He's on stock manifolds and stock H pipe, and they're still just lacking. Like it's a deeper sound, but I feel like that exhaust could be so much louder if you put headers on. And I'm trying to persuade him, and I think I'm getting to him, and I think we're gonna do it one day. Yes, I chose the base to remove the roof and the room in the back. Yep, that's a big selling point as well. Yes, I have the Cook's headers and catted C pipe. Okay, or X pipe. Let's see. Yeah, C's right next to X. Okay, and you still thought when what did you have? You had Magnaflows, right? You thought the Magnaflows weren't loud enough. Project 30, I seen FRC someone added the target to, and it actually looks slick. I did see that too. That someone modded their roof and put the target removable top in. I thought that was really cool. I considered that mod, but it's expensive as hell. Okay. Corvettes in Canada does that mod. Uh, Jeff Zippities, does somebody make? I don't know. No, that's what I'm thinking about. Never mind. You're right. My truck is 5-inch straight pipe and as loud as it can be. Yeah. Duramax Country Boy. I'm thinking about on my Ram removing the mufflers. Thinking about it. But the Ram is, it's for my family. So I don't know if I want to do that or not. But I'm tempted to get rid of the mufflers on that. Let's see what. I knew I liked you. I guess it's you I hear up here in the icebox when you started up in the morning. Duramax Country Boy, are you in Jersey? My old Power Stroke was a 5-inch turbo back. Nice. Do cutouts, dude. I don't want to do cutouts. Mine's pretty damn fucking loud. I don't need cutouts to make it any louder. I don't think your wife would like that. I know mine wouldn't. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm assuming you mean taking out the mufflers in the truck. You're probably right. Those 5.7s get loud. Yeah, I know they do. And that's what I like. She already hates how loud my Z06 is. Yeah. Yeah, the other day, me and my wife went out for dinner. My in-laws were watching the kids, so I had the wife in the Corvette with me. And we're sitting at a light. And I think this may have only been like her second time in the car since I put the cam. And we're sitting there, and obviously you guys that have cam cars, you're sitting there, you're rocking, you're going back and forth, and she's like, "Is there something wrong with the car? Is that really supposed to be doing that?" And I'm like, "Yes, that's the best part." I'm like, "Does it want to put you to sleep?" She's like, "No, this is ridiculous." I'm like, "Whatever." My wife hasn't been in the vet since the bottle went on. Is that because she's scared that you're gonna hit the button? Dave, you're an enigma. No cutouts, but straight pipes. That does not compute. Well, because I don't feel like cutting into my exhaust. That's why. That's the main reason. I just don't feel like cutting into it. Now, for that, I'm just not. I don't know. How much more sound can I get out of the car? They just don't get it. You're right. They don't. Big block shaking a modern car. Love a big cam. There you go. My cam isn't big. It's just a stage 2 cam, but it still rocks you a little bit. It's not crazy, but it rocks you a little bit. And I like it. She says someone has to be around to collect life insurance. That's a good point. Of months, I actually went with an automatic C5 just so my wife could drive it. I took her for a ride in my friend's C5 6-speed. All she said was, "Do you really have to drive it like you stole it?" I said, "Yep." Yeah. I obviously didn't get an auto because of my wife, but I have an auto. Um, and I like it. I'm actually looking at I was Googling a whole bunch of stuff today on getting a built 4L60. Um, because if I do the Pro Charger and that, I will have to get a built trans. So I was looking at, and Project Dirty, you can probably chime in on this as well, but I was looking at a Performa built or RPM or going to K Hall Performance in Delaware and having them build my 4L60 for me. So those are the three that are in the running right now. I think Performa built may have actually been the cheapest. I think you can get like a 700 horsepower rated trans from them for like $2,400 or something like that. I was like, wow, that's actually not too bad. Duramax, I'm lucky my wife and kids love lab vehicles as well, and I'm in PA. Okay, you're in PA. Project Dirty, I'm still to get my solid mounts in to get the entire car to shake. Real men drive manual. Sorry, not sorry. That's fine. I need to come up with some good t-shirt ideas. I think I got one, but just because I'm an auto guy, and I know you manual guys like to shit talk auto guys every damn day, but you know. What PC saying? If it ain't rolling, you ain't going. That's fine. You can just keep looking at my taillights as I go by you. That's all. Um, Performa built and RPM are both good companies. RPM has a little higher price tag just because of their name. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I forget what level I was looking at. I forget if it was level 5 or level 6. But I think their level 5 may have been like in the $2,600 range, and their level 6 was like 3,100, something like that. RTM, do you need to upgrade, or would you upgrade the axle shafts when you do your trans? I haven't really looked into what else I am going to upgrade when I upgrade the trans. Obviously, I want to build it, but also put a stall converter in, probably like a 3200 stall. Look at doing the torque tube, and then probably keep the diff. I have 315 gears, so I do have the better gear ratio for the automatics. So I don't know if there's really a big difference between a 315 gear and a 342 gear. Like if I'll really notice it at all. So I may just stay with the 315s, and then I really haven't looked into what else to upgrade at this point. Zippity, if you can take your hand off the wheel to shift, you don't have enough power to try to control. For what it's worth, I've never owned an automatic, but I would own a C8 for sure. Yeah, because they only come in automatics. My dad has had countless hot rods and said I made a good choice with the auto because as you get older, you'll get tired of shifting all day. That's what everybody talks about. We were talking about the Facebook groups earlier. You put something on there about your automatic on a Facebook group, you're going to get 100 different comments of people like, saying you suck, but then you're going to get the 5 guys that say, well, I'm 60 and I need an automatic. I know PC, you're up there, but you still prefer your manuals. I think anything to mitigate wheel hop is a huge help. Yeah, no, I hear you. My opinion always, and I mean always, keep stock axles. It's a lot cheaper to replace a broken axle than a broken diff or trans. That's a good point. If your axle is the weak point at that point, it's a lot cheaper and easier to do that. You're right. You're right. Manuals oppress high school girls. Autos win races. Let's not turn this into an auto versus manual debate. Or not debate, but shit talk back and forth. I'm not up there. I'm just out there. You're a funny guy there, PC. Zippity. No doubt new autos are faster, but manuals are more fun. That's my story. No, I hear you. I'm strongly considering my next Corvette to be a manual. Mainly because I really like the C6Z. So if that's gonna be my next Corvette, then obviously that only comes in manual. So I am considering it. It's past my bedtime. I'm still hanging in there. PC, you're emailing me at like 2 in the morning. So what's your bedtime? What is your sleep schedule like? Because I get emails from you in the middle of the night, and sometimes I'm responding to them because I'm feeding my daughter or something, which is crazier. But Jimmy Harris, all depends on who's shifting. Yeah. Computer shifts fast. Oh, I definitely want a manual Corvette. I miss my 96 manual Camaro. Yeah. I definitely, I mean, I've only driven a manual 3 times. 3 times. And I'm not going to lie, it's fun. But, I need to actually get a manual car in order to actually be able to drive it well. Project 30 for short upgrade diff mount and get a trans brace. ECS torque tamer is a good send. It's a godsend, sorry. It's a godsend also. Yeah, it's a good idea. We always had manuals and motorcycles, so I had to really decide on the automatic C5. Yeah, and automatic C5s are cheaper. They're less desirable. Everybody wants the manual C5, so the best never rest. What can I say? Plus, I have no one else other than you who is up when I'm up. Yeah. It's true. Sometimes with my daughter though, sometimes she knocks me out, and then other times like lately, my son's been waking up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, driving us crazy. So he's being a pain right now, and he stalled what like 8 times going to C512. Yeah, but hold on there, Jeff. 7 times, 7 times, not 8. It was 7 times. Stalled 7 times, but that was just getting into the driveway. But we had driven around for like half an hour in PA, so there's rolling hills and all this stuff. I didn't stall one time throughout the half an hour drive. It was just pulling into his driveway that I stalled 7 times. It just happened. It was a narrow driveway. There was a big bush, and then on the other side, if you watch the video, Jeff, if you go back and watch the video, I ran over an old tree stump. The tree stump was only like maybe like a 4-inch tree stump, but I hit that because I didn't want to hit the bush, and it got in my head. I let it get to me, and it just got to me. That's it. That's all. I got nothing else to say, but it got to me. I told the wife we would have enough equity in the new house to finance a C8. I just got the look. Better ask for forgiveness than permission, I guess. Yeah, that's right. I know when I was getting my C5, I was telling my wife that, I really want one. I really like the car. I wanted to go look at it. I didn't actually buy it that day. Um, and then the wife's like, "You're not really gonna get that, are you?" And I'm like, "I don't really know yet." And then like the next day, I'm like driving home with it, and she's like, "I thought you didn't know." Well, I didn't know when you asked me, but now I know. So, does your wife ever drive the vet? Yeah, she does. She's driven it. She has not driven it with the cam though. She's only been in the car twice with me since I got the cam done, and that's what almost a year ago now at this point. Just with COVID, her being pregnant, and now having our second child, she just didn't really have much chances to get in the car, and she hasn't driven it yet with the cam, but she drove it before that. Would you believe back in the day, autos were an option, manuals came standard? Yeah, I think starting with the C5 wasn't the C5. Jeff Zibby's Garage, you can correct me on this, but I think the C5 may have been like the first Corvette where the auto was the standard transmission, right? And manual was an option. Any new Jimmy Harris, just on any new TR control remedies I missed? I'm not getting that one. Excuses. I have a great manual stalling story. We have all been there. Yeah, we have. Yes, I am dating myself, but I can drive a 3-speed on this column. There you go. 3 on the tree, right? Is that what you call being stuck between a bush and a tree? Yes. No, there's Zippity 3 on the tree. See, even I know 3 on the tree, right? Didn't even tell mine. I didn't even tell mine I went to look at my C5. She had to work a Saturday. She came home, had to park on the street. Nice. Yeah, that's it. 3 on the tree. My grandfather. Yep, I drove a 3 on the tree once, twice. I was looking for someone older and wiser. Correct to the C5 transmission comment. Well, PC, you are the old, I believe. I don't know the age of everybody else on here, but I know you're older than Zippity's Garage. So, makes sense for sure. We have a 5-month-old, so the past year, at least, my wife has not been in the car. Yeah, I mean, when she was pregnant, she didn't want to get down in the car. She couldn't get out of the car and all that stuff. So, um, that's why we went out for dinner like the very next weekend after I got the cam done. So that was her first time in it, and then just past weekend was her second time. So I learned to drive on the 3 on the tree in my grandma's Rambler. Nice. But yeah. Yeah, you're definitely older than Zippity. You'll be 54. Yeah. No, PC still got you. 50 years of wildness. Yep. So, Great White North Corvette. How you liking the C8, by the way? You didn't have to agree so fast, Dave. I'm sorry. You know I tell it like it is. That's why I like hanging out at the Corvette Club. They make me feel young. See, that's the one reason why I never. Not the one reason. There's multiple reasons on why I never joined the Corvette Club. But that's one of them. I just didn't know like if there was anybody my age that I can relate with, and you know what I mean. Not that I can't relate with you guys. Obviously, I can talk to anybody with Corvettes, but you know what I mean. Somebody more my age, and not more seasoned than me. Duramax Country Boy 35. I am. How old am I? I'm 35 too. So it took me a while to think about that. I'm turning 36 in May, but yeah, and I turned 30 in April, and I'm dreading it. I tell everybody this, and the old guys on here are gonna make fun of me, but when you turn 30, things hurt that never hurt before. 30 is the beginning of the end as far as like body soreness goes, because like you know like now I gotta like stretch before I get out of bed. It's like ridiculous. And 30 is when all that starts to hurt. You guys that are in your 50s, you're beyond all that hurtness. Everything just hurt. You're just used to the hurt at that point. RTM, you're 27. Nice. It's nice to see the younger guys getting into these cars too. I can't pull it up obviously because I can't share my screen, but if I were to look at like my age demographic on who watches my channel here, I'll pull that up really quick. Most of my viewers are in the 35 to 45 range. And then I think the next biggest demographic is 45 to 55. How do I get to that? Here we go. Age. This lifetime? Yeah. Actually, no. 25 to 34 is my largest demographic with 26%. And then 35 to 44 is 18, and 45 to 54 is 18. So, no. It's nice to see the younger guys starting to get into these. Great White North, you love it. Love it on the track too. Not nice. So you did take the C8 to the track. I haven't really watched many of your videos yet. Sorry about that. I just really haven't had the time. You thought PC was only 29. He is 29. 51 years now, but I was 30 when I bought the 98 convertible. Nice. You guys really want too young. I founded my Corvette club before any of you were born. I don't tell that to everyone. So keep your mouth shut because I know a guy. There you go. You can go swimming with the fishes, huh? Age doesn't matter when you have the same common likes. I have always enjoyed going to car and motorcycle. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I've done concrete work since I was 18. Stuff has hurt since I was 20. All right, yeah, if you're into like heavy labor like that, yeah, I can definitely see that. WV UDJ, you're 36. Nice. Well, yes, I agree. How about male to female demographic? That one is 99.6% male, 0.4% is female, and probably 0.4 of that is like my wife. You're still in my will. Yeah, that's funny. It's weird. Our local Corvette club hate my car because it's ricey. Yeah. I mean, it's with everybody, with all the newer guys getting into it, they just want to, they're changing the game, right? Like all the old, no, I'm not going to say the old stuff, but the stuff that has been the constant things accessories that you can buy for C5s, the newer generation just doesn't like that stuff. And it's been around for 20 years. So the newer generation is trying to come up with new new things to make their C5 their own, and that's one of them. And I'm not going to say ricey, but we're bringing over a different flavor to the Corvette world that you know isn't everyone's taste. You're like 98.5 male demographic. That's funny. I think it's because I'm ugly. I'm saving for a C5 right now. The nice thing about we talked about this a little bit earlier is C5s really aren't all that much money if you can hunt Facebook Marketplace, hunt Craigslist, and other like private sellers. You'll find a good deal out there. You'll find somebody like my car was a one owner car, well taken care of. Had the maintenance records. Yeah, I had the cracked quarter panel, but other than that, the car was mechanically sound. Only 40,000 miles, one owner, and it was a great buy. And I found that at the time it was like $4,000 less than what any other dealer was selling a C5 for. So the car's about expression. Everyone is different. Enjoy it and screw the ones who don't understand. Exactly. Even in our 50s, we didn't join the local Corvette clubs because everyone seems to act so old. Yeah. The other reasons why why I've never joined the Corvette club is life, right? I'm just super busy with work, family, and I just can't give, what you need to give for that type of, club, right? Because you guys, Corvette clubs have activities and all that stuff. I just don't have the time for it. They aren't much money, but I'm 19, so not rich. No, I hear you. I got about 15K saved for it. About 14K. You'll be able to find something for 14K. I'm telling. I don't know where do you live. Your stock paint was shot, so I got mine cheap, but I was okay with it because I knew I wanted a custom paint. Exactly. I mean, there's gonna be things wrong with a cheaper car, but as long as you have a plan for it, then who cares? Any original C? I am an original owner of 04Z. Second owner of an 04Z. Project 30 paid $7,900 for his, which is a great buy. C4 is not a bad bang for your buck either, but some of kids may not be able to get in them, or once in, you can't get out of them. No, yeah, I've only been in one C4, and you're right. Those door sills are like I can't even show it on the screen. Door sills are like this deep. That's like crazy trying to get in and out of a C4, and you're so crammed too because obviously the transmission's in the front. A lot less space in a C4 compared to C5, but they are a lot cheaper. Florida, you live in Florida. I'm just looking for the right one. I know I could buy one right now, but I want low miles. And obviously, hold on, and obviously standard and not convertible. So my options are limited. Yeah, I hear you. At least being in Florida, though, you should be able to find something. Yes, you're literally sitting in a tub. Yep. The C401 is a legend, though. Yeah, that's for sure. I used to follow a guy here on YouTube that had one. He sold it. It was I don't know what, I forget what they call the green color, but it was a nice color. I like that green. Projector. I wish they brought over the C4 style hood to the C5, where the upper half of the fender lifts up to. Yes, and it kind of exposes the front wheels. I think that's like the coolest thing about the C4s. Definitely, I agree with you there. Zippy, is yours that blue limited edition one? I forget the name of it. Yes, his was that. He was in the he submitted for the Z06 um virtual car show. He was in, I forget which bracket he was in. I don't remember off the top of my head. Great White North. I would have to agree with the C4s. I had 4 of them. Love the way the hood come up. You work. Yeah. Gotta go, guys. Thanks, Dave. Lots of fun. See you later, Steve. Like I said, we'll have Maddie on here when we get all this stuff sorted out. Here's the commemorative edition Z06 with the stripes, FRC bracket number 2. Nice. Nice. Zippy did not won his class. Oh, the humanity. Yeah, I agree. I forget who was in his class. I can look back. I think I had the bracket around here somewhere. Yeah, hey, got the bracket. He was in with Cookie Monster, and Cookie Monster won his bracket. Yeah. But there were some great cars in that bracket. You had Cookie Monster, you had Zippity, you had OGZ06. Yeah, you had a lot of good cars in that bracket. Project Area. I've always been curious to how the C401 engine would respond to boost. Everyone that has one loses stock for the most part for obvious reasons. Yeah. Cookie Monster in my class, awesome car. Yeah, he no expense paid there. Or no expense not paid. I forget how this thing goes. It's getting late, guys. But yeah. I think the only thing his car is missing is seats. And if you put some type of brake kit on that car would be solid. I'm not a fan of blues, but I like the commemorative edition. Okay, Cookie Monster was a stiff. Yeah. Yeah, his car was pretty good. I didn't notice at first, but on his Z emblem, he had Cookie Monster in the Z emblem that was on the front fender. I thought that was actually pretty cool. No expense. Yeah, don't worry. Memory loss happens at your age. It does. Ask my wife about memory loss. She'll ask me to do something. I'll walk into the room. I'll come back out. She's like, "You didn't do what I asked you to do, did you?" I'm like, "Fuck," and then I gotta walk back in and do it. I just forget. You need a lip, skirts, and rear diffuser bed. Yeah, I want to get a lip and side skirts. I'm actually thinking about I forget who makes it. It could be Corvette Creations or Carbon Creations. I forget who it is. But they have the C5R. They call it the C5R lip. I like that front lip. Just because it doesn't stick down as low and protrude out as far. That's the only reason why I like it a little bit more. It's more sleek. And then everybody's side skirts are the same. But yeah. And I know a lot of guys go carbon, but I'll probably just do gloss black. PC like that, right? See? Corvette Creations. Okay, thanks. Obsessive Hobby says the same setup I have had my eye on, and now everyone is going to think I'm just copying him. That's funny. You know, he did a great job on that car. Again, no expense spared on that car either. He put a lot of time into that one. Quick Z06 on the forum has that front splitter. Side skirts are different. Some have vertical pieces in the front of their rear tires. Others do not. Yeah. Okay. I think you're right. Yeah. I've noticed that. I do like the piece that comes up in front of the rear tire. I do like that. Anyone know if there's an aftermarket front end lift available? I'm not aware of one. I guess the only way you could, I'm not aware of one unless you go to put bags on it, all right, and then you can lift the bags up. You just go to air suspension. That's one way around it. Any other items we want to chat about, guys? We've been going pretty strong here for almost 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes. For someone that was a epic fail. You guys are hanging in there, and I appreciate that. I'm actually kind of pissed. I don't know why. I have no clue why that was causing such an issue. Watch now. If I go on the site, it's probably gonna work. Let's see. No, there we are having we're aware of the issue going live to YouTube, and we are working on you with YouTube on a fix. Please stream to other platforms or please hang on. Thank you for understanding. Yeah, so they're still having the issue. Hopefully, hopefully I'll come on here tomorrow and that issue will be gone, and then maybe we can do the live tomorrow or Thursday. Do we have any other questions? Anything else? Any other topics to talk about? I haven't seen anything pop up. And oh wow, that's why. Woof. Now I need to catch up, but my screen wasn't updating here. Front lift sounds expensive. It does. It's a whole suspension deal. Not heard of a retrofit front end lift. I'll have to send you some Canadian beer. I do like Canadian beer. I like all beer. I'm out. You posted on the Maddie chat. Thanks. Yep. I'll post something up once I do know. I had air ride suspension on my custom big dog Mastiff. Keep up the live shows. Yeah, I'm bummed that this software just had this issue today because I'm trying to do these this live stream series. I think it's kind of fun just to get to know somebody. You guys watch all these people on YouTube. It's nice to get to know them a little bit better on a personal level than just watching their videos. When I have issues with that, it probably ticks people off and people don't want to come back. Project 30. I picked up a C6 rear bumper off a par out. I'm going to try to take it and a C5 bumper and make one that bolts onto the C5 but has a C6 rear. That's cool. I personally prefer the C5 rear bumper, but I know a lot of guys like the C6 bumper. Personal preference. All right, guys. I think I am going to call it a night. I haven't worked in like over 2 months. I've been on paternity leave, and my work called me back to help them out for something tomorrow. So I'm actually working, even though I'm not supposed to be working tomorrow. These live streams make it a little bit more real. Too bad when you comment, we can't come up in person. Well, that's the one thing about this software, PC, is that if I were able to do this with the software, I could post the link here in the comments, and anybody that wants to join in person can do so, and you can ask me a question, like in person, which I think is cool. But I just need the software to work. Today it wasn't working. You kept me up this late. Now I'm ready to party. I guess you and Matt will just have to have a sleepover at one of your houses. We can't get it fixed. I doubt either one of our wives would appreciate that one. So we're probably not going to do that. Carolina game just ended, so I can stop in now. Gearhead, we had a little technical difficulties again with the live stream, so we had to reschedule it for another day. I just jumped on here just to see if anybody wanted to chat, and here we are almost 2 hours in, and we're still chatting. System Hobbies just jumped in now, so looking forward to the next one. Have a great night, guys. Thanks, Dave. Cheers. Appreciate everyone just hanging around for a little bit. Yeah, Dave, come on over. Yeah. especially I forget which Dakota you're in. That one wouldn't be good. You're gonna email me in the next 5 hours. That's funny. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, it just sucks. South Dakota, but yeah, hopefully the software that I use, for some reason they weren't able to link up with YouTube tonight, so they sent me a message saying, we can't connect your live stream. Of course, they sent me that message like 5 minutes before we were supposed to start the live stream, so just how the cookie crumbles, I guess. But all right, guys, I think we're gonna end there. I think, did my wife text me again? No, she didn't text me again. But my phone is actually almost dead because I'm doing this on my phone. Uh, I'm gonna sign off for the evening, guys. Uh, Again, sorry for the inconvenience. We'll get this live stream stuff figured out. Love the thumbnail. Yeah, I had to come up with something. I asked you for a thumbnail. I'm like, well, what am I gonna choose as a thumbnail? So, but I'll catch you on the next live stream. There will be a video upload this Friday. I think I'm gonna upload it. So, hang in for that one, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one. Later.